Wedge has always played a major role in Boxcutter, and in this update, Wedge has been expanded. So basically we're drawing a box, but you can always shift it to Wedge whenever you want by just pressing W, and now we can see that we're now drawing using a wedge box. So now every box I draw will have a wedge, and I could also press W or Shift tilde to rotate the shape inside in order to get the wedge to go exactly the direction that I want. So right now you see me using wedge as we've always known it, just drawing a general wedge. However, if we expand the drop down for the shape, we see that there's now a new factor in width. Factor is interesting because you can choose which side of the shape you're going to receive your wedge. So if I change this all the way to 0, we're now actually wedging it in a reverse fashion, which we can still press Shift tilde in order to rotate the shape inside depending on where we want to get our wedge to go. But for reasons unexplained, we have this currently set to 1. Whenever it comes to width, width is also able to be adjusted. So if we press Ctrl D to bring up our behavior helper, we can adjust our width, and we see that by toggling the width, you're able to bring this shape in and adjust the type of wedge you're getting. There's still a very particular type of wedge that I endeavor to get that we still haven't achieved yet, but just wanted to let you know that we are working on expanding wedge to begin taking it forward. So let's press Ctrl D, let's set our width back to 1. And let's actually set our factor to 0.5. And so with this particular setting configuration, we now see that the wedge point is in the middle, allowing us to draw a very different type of wedge than we were able to do in previous versions. In fact, let's lower our auto smooth so it shows up the way we intend. And you can actually see that now we're able to draw wedges that actually begin in the middle. And we can still press B in order to bevel these in the event that we want to bevel the wedge. So there's still a lot of aspects of wedge that I want to examine to a fine point as we continue advancing it forward, but just letting you know that some steps have been taken in this update to bring some of the weld changes that we've been working on behind the scenes finally to the surface so you, the user, can experience it. Whenever I talk about the coveted wedge, I'm talking about this particular wedge right here. We can draw a box and let's just press W to wedge it. And what we want to do is actually just dissolve that point, and we'll bring this in, bring that out, select these two, and bevel it. So I'm always pondering how we can get this particular wedge inside of Boxcutter, but the rule about not moving top points is something that works against us. So it's something that I'm always contemplating, but maybe the day will come when we'll be able to draw wedges in this particular shape in addition to the shapes that I've shown previously. So everything that we're doing is working towards that in a regard.